Welcome to another DMT sharpening tip session. My name is Stan Watson, and today we're going to talk to you about how to keep your garden pruners sharp. There are a couple of different styles, and we'll show you how to care for them. They sharpen in different ways, like different tools have different ways to be sharpened. We'll talk to you about a couple of our product lines today. Our Diafold Diamond Flat File and also our DiaSharp Mini Hone, the two best tools to use to keep your pruners sharp. So stay tuned, and I'll show you all the ins and outs of keeping your pruners cut and sharp. Now, as I mentioned before, there are two different styles of pruners. One is designed as an anvil type of pruner, where you have a blade that has a bevel on each side that clamps down onto, cuts down onto a flat surface. The other style of pruner is termed a bypass pruner, and they operate very similar to a pair of scissors, such that it has a cutting bevel only on one side, and it slides past the anvil just like a pair of scissors work. And because these two tools are designed differently, their uses are different as well. The anvil pruners are meant primarily for pruning deadwood. Because of the design of this and the bevel on each side, you can exert a lot more cutting force to cut through dead, dry wood. On the other hand, the bypass pruners, with the sliding bevel design, are designed for live work, pruning of live bushes and trees and things of that nature. Let me talk to you about the DMT tools, our flat files, and our mini sharps that you use to keep these sharp. The Diafold flat file has a very, very thin blade, which has the advantage of getting into a very narrow area. It also has the convenience of the folding handles. And it has a tapered design from a 3/4 inch wide down to a 1/4 inch. And this narrow 1/4 inch area, coupled with being very, very thin, allows you to get into very tight spaces in some of the smaller pruners. The Diafold Mini Hone is also very thin, but not quite as thin as the flat file. Its advantage is it has a very ergonomic handle, and because of the short blade, it allows you to get a very controlled stroke and get very tight control over the angle that you're holding when you're sharpening, which is important to a lot of people. So different designs for different applications for different people. Let's talk about sharpening anvil pruners. To always remove the same amount of material from each section of the blade, the tip, the middle, and the heel, and also the same amount of strokes on each side, so that you are able to maintain that bevel centered in the thickness of this blade so the tool stays balanced. So let me start by sharpening, and I will start with a coarse flat file, and I'm going to start by stroking away from the edge, from the heel of the blade to the tip. 2, 3, 4, 5, and about 6 or 8 strokes is all you need. Now you've noticed I've started sharpening away from the edge. I'm going to roll the tool over. So now I'm going to sharpen into the edge, and what I'm going to do now on my first stroke is get rid of any wire burr I might have rolled up on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now if you want to progress to the finer grit, which is clearly a matter of personal preference, and again, the blue is the coarse grit, the red is the fine grit. So you do the same thing. You start by stroking away from the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I usually do 1 or 2 less strokes as you progress through finer and finer grits. Roll it back over. Now you're stroking into the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're done. Now for bypass pruners, so it really doesn't matter if you remove a little bit more material from one part of the blade to the other, because you're always sliding past the cutting edge here. So for that reason, we always want to sharpen into this edge so that we never roll a burr up on the back side. So starting with the coarser grits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again I can demonstrate that with this mini hone being a shorter pad and allowing you to get your hand closer to the actual diamond surface, it may be easier for some people to maintain control over that angle, because this is a curved blade, so you have to follow the contour versus the anvil pruner being a straight edge. So again, then I will progress to the finer grit. 5 strokes. And again, because you're always stroking into the cutting edge, you're never going to roll a burr up on this backside, and you always want to remember to not remove any material from the backside of this blade, or you won't have a tight pass by that anvil, and you won't be able to prune very cleanly and tightly. So that's sharpening with DMT Diamond, our pruner tuners. And again, our grit range is the coarse 325, 45 micron, the red 600 mesh or 25 micron, and the green, which is an extra fine or a 9 micron. So these are DMT's pruner tuners for you to use to keep your pruners sharp all year long. Well, thanks for watching our quick little pruner tutorial here with our DMT selection of pruner tuners. And I guess it's time to see if what we did actually worked. It being early spring here in Massachusetts, it's not easy to find a lot of greens out there, but we do have some mountain laurel and hopefully a nice sharp pair of bypass pruners. Yep, I'd say they're sharp. Thanks for watching, and thanks for choosing DMT to help you keep your edge. Take care.